Welcome to your history class, and today we are going to learn about early man. Early humans. Life of early humans as hunter-gatherers, making use of fire, beginning of farming, invention of wheel. These are the four topics we are going to see today in this history class. Now the first thing is life of early humans as hunter-gatherers. Now we split this history into two parts. The two parts are what is prehistory and what is history. Now early man, as you know, he did not know how to read and write. So that period is called prehistory. And the period he started reading, writing, and he started writing in manuscripts like this. Yes, this is a palm leaf. Do you see that? In a palm leaf that he has written some letters that you don't know what it is, but it was the language that he used. So this is history. So the period of early humans when they did not know how to read and write is called prehistory. So if we did not know how to read and write, how do we study what history is, what happened in the prehistory period? How do we know? We come to know through these cave paintings. Then we must have, in the previous chapter I showed you some tools that they have used like pots, pans, weapons, stone tools, bone tools. All that, with the help of that we will study history, the prehistory, how they had lived. History is easy because we already have a written history about it, so that is easy. So all you need to remember is what is prehistory. Prehistory is a period of early humans when they did not know to read and write is called prehistory. Now the period of time what comes after the invention of writing is called history. So this you need to remember. Now, how do we know about early humans? Now, I told you, right? So, since they did not know how to read and write, how do we know about them? It is, I told you, through cave paintings, and the other things are like tools that they have used, pots, pans, bones, skeletons. So, all that they have used. Now, you can see in this picture, you see there is some stove, there is some a jug. Yes, and we don't know what this is being used for. It's all being used for cooking, and they're all made of stone. Can you see that? They're all made of stone. They don't know whether, so they all look so nice. So this is from a museum, what the archaeologists have brought. And they have dug the ground. You know, archaeologist, he digs the ground to find such tools, and then he brings it to the historian, and then they make a record of it, like weapons, all this. So how do we know about early humans? It is by their tools, pots, pans, bones, skeletons, all this that they have used. We come to know about the early humans. Now the next thing is the birth of early humans. This is where it starts. The birth of early humans. Now you see why there is a ape here, and I've mentioned it as great ape. Now this ape is called the great ape. Why is it called? Is because the humans, that is we, and the chimpanzees had a common ancestor. You know, your great-grandfathers go for millions of years, right? So millions of years ago, our grandfather, the human great-great-great-grandfather, and the chimpanzee's great-great-great-grandfather were brothers. Okay, so that is how it has come, and that's what we assume. And that common ancestor, we had a very same grandfather we had, and that common ancestor is called the great ape. So we name it as great ape. So who is a great ape? The humans and chimpanzees had a common ancestor called great ape. That you need to remember. The next thing is, do you see this human ape sitting under the tree? Now, why I call this as human ape, I'll tell you. From great ape, I've come to human ape. Now, this human ape is called the hominid. Now, this great ape, earlier probably they were all sitting on the trees and jumping from one tree to the other. And then these human apes, when the trees became lesser and lesser, fewer and fewer, then for various reasons, these apes, the great apes, thought that okay, why not start living on the ground instead of being on top of the tree? Why not live on the ground? So under the trees. And this period, those apes are called human apes. Human apes, they're more like human. They don't live on trees, but they live on the ground. And they are called hominids. Remember, the first one is great ape and the second one is hominid. Now we come to the third part, that is the handy humans. The handy humans. Now you see this chimp who became from the great ape to human ape. Now he's a handy human. See, can you see that? Now he has started standing on his legs. He's got two legs, the pair of legs that he has started using. Earlier he would have used all his force and then he would have walked like an animal. Now he started using his legs. And then you see he is able to hold the tree, and then he has started using his hand. Then he will start using stones, holding trees, breaking branches. He knows that his hand can be of some use. It's not that the previous period they did not know, but the brain did not have so much of capacity to know that it is it can do all that. So later it started developing, the brain started developing, and then they learned how to use the hand. So now he is standing and then he is also using his hands. So it's very simple to remember. When he started using his hands to hold, for what is it used for? For holding stones, tools, to make tools, all that. They are called the handy humans. Because they use their hands, they are called handy humans. But still he looked more like a chimp because he had lots of fur on his body. Can you see that? So these are called handy humans. Now you see we have the upright human. See, now from a chimpanzee, then he started using his handy human. Then now he started standing a little straight. Can you see that? Can you see that he is standing straight? This is called an upright human. Upright human. And then slowly you see the fur in the body. What you saw in that handy human, you had the chimp had, the human had fur like a chimpanzee, but now the fur is missing. Yes, now so he has become a Homo sapien. Now you and I are Homo sapiens. Remember that we are Homo sapiens and we can stand straight. We are upright humans and we have changed to Homo sapiens. So from great ape we have become Homo sapiens. So you need to remember this is the stage how man has changed from a chimpanzee to a upright human and changed into a Homo sapien. Now, okay, now he has become a Homo sapien. Now he is not like an animal any longer. He is not walking on his fours. But still, one thing is that he has not discovered fire yet. So now what is he doing is, he is still hunting animals and then he is eating the raw flesh. He is eating tubers which is found under the ground. Then he is eating the fruits which is available. But he does not know that he can also grow fruits that he has not realized. He has not realized how to make fire. He has not realized. So he is just going from place to place. Say there is a cave also. See, he has learnt how to live in a cave. But he doesn't stay there for long. See, wherever he sees that animals, he starts hunting and then he will eat, and then he starts, when he feels that that is over, then he moves to another place. That place, moving from one place to another looking for food, is called a nomad. A nomad, always on a move looking for food. So life of early humans, this is the period where he was just hunting. He was looking for food. That is why it's called hunter-gatherers. Hunter-gatherers were nomads. They always move looking for food. So they did not make their own food. They did not settle in one place. They went from place to place looking for food, and that is why they are called as nomads. The next one, you see, now I told you they have lost the fur. They're not like any chimp now. They have lost the fur. So they'll feel very cold. I told you, earth was it's not like the earth that we see today. It is lots of trees were there and the earth was extremely cold. Very, very cold it was. So and no fire. So how, they must be freezing, right? So what did they do is they learned to make clothes using leaves. See, look at them. They are all wearing leaves and then barks of trees. then the animal skin, as you can see there, and see some have been drying there. So all this from the animal skin, and then he started living in natural caves. He did not build his house, but he started at least the natural caves are there, so he started living in caves where he thought that it could be safe, and he could keep away from the wild animals. So this is the period where man finds that he can make his own clothes using leaves, barks, animal skins, and then to protect himself from the weather and wild animals, he started living in natural caves. But not many natural caves are there, right? So later he figures out how to make a house also. Now you see, he's also made tools and weapons. Can you see that? Look at these tools. Probably this was using for killing animals when there is something like sharp, or pounding, tearing, all that, for knives, hammers, for all that he started using stones. And that is why it's called the Stone Age, because he has started using a lot of stones. That is why it's called Stone Age. So these are the weapons, tools and weapons that he has made in the past. Now, do you see that the discovery of fire was something really great for man, because it helped him in a lot of ways. It helped him to stay warm. The first thing is it helped him to stay warm. Can you see in this picture? They're all warm, sitting inside a cave, and they have lit a fire. Even now we do that, no? And when you go outdoor, it is very cold, we light a fire and we sit there. And then he can also cook raw meat. And here, look at this. These people are trying to make fire using some sticks there. You can cook raw meat. It's not necessary to eat that flesh, then raw meat. So you can he can cook it and eat. And then animals, when they come to attack him, he can use this as a major weapon to chase these animals. He can use these fire to chase the animals away that he would have made use of. So three things that you need to remember. So making use of fire, how did it help man? It helped man to stay warm. The first thing is it helped him to stay warm, and then it helped him to cook raw meat. So not necessary to eat raw meat. He was cooking his food and he's eating. Third one is he used it to chase away wild animals. So he used to chase wild animals, like how he's doing in this picture. Can you see? There's a hawk and there's a fox or a hyena. So he's just chasing them away. So you should remember that making use of fire, that is very, very important in early man's life. That changed his life a lot. And see, when he discovered fire and he stayed warm, see, he discovered fire and he stays warm. He knows he can cook food and eat. He also learned one more thing. He learned that if you use the seeds, yes, he was like a nomad. He went from place to place looking for grains and tubers and all that. He realized that you can also grow those tubers. Yes, like the potatoes, whatever grows, you take one part of it and then you dig the earth and put it in, then it will also grow. That he has learned. Then if you take the grains and you can just sow it around, it will give you that grains. So he started growing crops like wheat and barley. He started growing. Can you see that they're all harvesting whatever they have grown? And he also made shelters. Not only the caves, but there were many people, right? So he would have learned how to make houses using sticks and hay. All this he would have used, and to make he made shelters to live in. And then he also did one thing. He said, why go hunting? Let me also domesticate the animals, and then I will keep those animals with me so they don't run away. So I give whatever the produce. Say for instance, he's harvesting this, and he will give this to the sheep, and the sheep is going to stay with him, and then he can make use of the wool, he can make use of the milk, he can make use of the sheep's flesh also. So he learned how to domesticate animals, and that the animals can stay with him in harmony. So he learned how to do that, and so he became a hunter. From the hunter-gatherer, where he used to go from one place to another like a nomad, he became a farmer. So from the hunter-gatherers to farmers. So they grew wheat and barley, they made shelters, and they domesticated animals. Remember this, from hunter-gatherers to farmers, what did he do? He grew wheat and barley. So what did he grow first is wheat and barley. Then he also learned to make shelters, homes he started making, and then domesticated animals. If discovering fire was a very important thing, inventing wheel was the heights of it. So this is where the real development started taking place. Now that he started growing wheat, barley, now he must be knowing there are lots of other people like him, and he wanted to take some for them, or he wanted to carry from the field to the place he is. So he cannot carry it manually, so much he cannot carry it. So what he did was, he saw one log just rolling down a hill, and then he thought, okay, fine, if I'm going to use some shoe like this, then maybe everything will just roll down. And then he got the idea of cutting one bit of it and making a wheel, and then using a sledge, and then carrying things. So then he also, not only, see, look, this is a very old one where they have used wood, and then he's also made it out of stones also. Can you see that he had made wheels using stones, and this later can be was used as a grinding stone as well. And now then you have the new modern tires. So the invention of wheel was very, very important to man, because after that his life started changing drastically. Now do you see that? I told you, see, wheels used to make pots and pans. This wheel, not only the grinding stone, it was also used to make pots and pans. So he started making his own pots and pans where he can store all those grains, or to cook the grains and all that. So I told you that is an important development in man's invention. So now what we have learnt is, when humans first appeared on earth, they did not know how to read and write. This period is called prehistory. Humans and chimpanzees had a common ancestor, the great ape. The early humans, apes, are called as hominids. Early humans went through various stages to become modern human beings, and first they were early humans were hunter-gatherers, and it took many years before they took to farming. And making use of fire and invention of wheel are very important events in the development of human beings. So this is the gist of the lesson. I hope you understood. Now I have also sent you the ebook. Please do go through the ebook and then do the follow-up exercise that I have mentioned. So if you have any doubts, you can call back to school and say that you have not understood, and I will come back again on another video that will be very clear to you. So for now, watch this video over and over again, and then you read the ebook, and then get back to me if you have any doubts. Thank you very much.